Welcome back to Mac Talks of Football, and it's match day 12 in the English Premier League. We are back after a 2 weeks break, and it is going to be a very exciting weekend. A big debut. It's going to happen this weekend, and it's not a player debut; it's a manager's debut. Manchester United have a new manager. It's going to be exciting to see what he does, and a lot of other fixtures, exciting fixtures, a lot at stake early on already in the season. So let's go ahead and start. Big news as well with Pep Guardiola almost signing a new contract. It is going to be confirmed maybe by the time this video comes out. It might be confirmed that Guardiola has extended his stay at City. So what's the effect that is going to take on the league? That's going to be interesting as well. So let's go ahead and make our prediction. The first game, it is Leicester City versus Chelsea. It is 15th versus 3rd. Leicester City, they have won twice in their last 5 games, but the last 3 games they have not only accumulated 1 point. They lost to Manchester United just before the international break, 3-0. It was ruled by Mr. Roy's last game as a Manchester United manager. So it was a very a great day for Manchester United, but a disastrous day for Leicester City. I really don't think they were really up for it that game. It was quite a bad performance, if I'm being very honest with you. They are playing against the Chelsea side, who are have sort of made a good comeback in the last 3 or 4 weeks. They started very slow, but Maresca has pulled this team back. They are at 3rd in the table, 9 points behind the leader Liverpool. They are in the title race. That is a bit early to call. They drew against Arsenal 1-0. That was a really good game of football, and I think they would hope that they can continue from that. They really would want to win this game against Leicester, but I think it will be a very tough game for them coming back after the international break, playing that 3 p.m. Game and going away to Leicester, which who are a very tough side, especially at their home stadium. I think it will be a very close game, but I just don't see Chelsea winning that game. I think Leicester City are going to hold them to a draw, and I think we are not going to see that many goals in this game as well. I'm going for a 1-1 draw between Leicester City and Chelsea. The next game is a Fulham versus Wolves. It is 7th versus 19th. Now a lot of people, are they are really sleeping on Fulham this season. They are 7th in the table. It doesn't really feel like that they are at in the top 7 or 12. If whenever you think of Fulham, you just think of them as top 10, top 12 in that mid-table position. But they are 7th. They are playing really good football. They have been sort of being one of the dark forces to somehow sneak into those European places. They defeated Crystal Palace quite convincingly at 2-0 just before the international break, and they have won like 3 games in a row. So they are in a really good form coming into this game. They are playing against a Wolves side who won a very important game. They are 19th in the league, but they won against Southampton. That was their first win of the season, so it was a very huge game for them. It's a big result for them, but they are going away to Fulham, and I think it will be a very tough game for them. And unfortunately for them, I think they are going to go back to their losing streak. They are going to lose this one as well. I think Fulham are really very, as I said, they are really under the radar. Nobody's really paying attention to them, and they're just getting those wins. They are getting those points, and in the end they are getting very close to the teams above them who are fighting for Europe. And as I said, they could really sneak up in there and get into those European places. I think it will be a very good game of football, but I think Fulham are gonna in the end win it. I'm going for a 3-1 win for Fulham. The next game is Everton versus Brentford. It is 16th versus 11th. Now Everton, they have just won once in their last 5 games. They have lost also once. 3 of them have been drawn. They drew against West Ham just before the international break. That was a really good result for them, because you expected West Ham to to get something out of that game, especially because just before that they had defeated Manchester United. So they were again at home to struggling Everton. You would have hoped that West Ham would have gotten something out of that game, but Everton held them to a draw. They are playing against a Brentford side who had a really good a game against a Bournemouth. But the thing with Brentford are they are really inconsistent. Their last 6 games have been defeat, win, defeat, defeat, win, defeat, win, defeat. So you really don't know which Brentford are going to come in. And I think that is a problem with Thomas Frank's side, that they're not able to be consistent. If they were able to be consistent, you could easily be sitting here and talking about them getting into Europe. But because they are so inconsistent, you really don't know what you are going to get from them. They are playing going against away to Goodison just after the international break. This could be one of those games where Everton get that a shock victory against Brentford. And as I said, Brentford are sort of those one of those teams that can give you that result, and that is why I'm going with this result. I think it will be a very close game, very tight game. Everton really like to they are really good at defensively. Brentford sorry really like to go ahead and play that attack minded football, and I think it is going to be one of those games. But I think Everton, being at home, coming back from the international break, I think they are gonna be very a trouble Brentford with that backline. They are not gonna be able to break them down, and I think the Everton are gonna hit them on the counter and get that goal. I'm going for a very cheeky 1-0 win for Everton. The next game is Arsenal versus a Nottingham Forest, and it is fourth versus a fifth. And who would have thought that almost at the end of the November, after 11 games, we will be sitting here and we'll be talking about Nottingham Forest like that. They are fifth at the table. They have been really amazing this season. They lost just their second game just before the international break. They led 1-0 for a lot of time, and then Newcastle made that comeback, and they lost 3-1. Before that, they were on an amazing run. They have won 3 out of their last 5 games, so it is really looking good for them. They are going away to Arsenal, and I mean, if we are going to talk about Arsenal, it has been a quite a disastrous few weeks for Arsenal. I mean, they have not they have not won for the last 4 weeks. Just 1 win in their last 5 games, and that was a long time ago. Being an Arsenal fan, it hasn't we have not really felt this for about 2-3 years, so it is it is really a weird feeling, to be very honest with you. There's a lot of talk about that the title being already done and dusted for Arsenal. I still don't think so. I think if it was City who were 9 points above us, I would have said that the title is done. But no offense to Liverpool, I just don't think that them being 9 points above us means the title is done. We can easily catch them, and because we saw the game against Liverpool, we could have easily defeated them as well. So that is why I still think the title is there, and that is why I think Arsenal have to win. If we don't win this game and the lead between us and Liverpool extends to double figures, then you can sit here and you can talk about the title being done. But at the moment, I still don't see the title going, and I think Arsenal have to win no matter what the situation is. They just have to win it, and I think they are going to win it. I think it will be a very tough game. I think it will be a very close game. Nottingham Forest, as I said, they are in a really good form. They have their confidence is really high, even though they lost against Newcastle. But I think they are still going to be really up for it. And I think Arsenal are somehow going to edge it. Being at home, I think that is the biggest advantage. If we were away, it was going to be even more trickier. But being at home, I think that is going to help Arsenal, and I think they are going to win it. I think it will be very close, but I think Arsenal are going to edge it. I'm going for a 2-1 win for the Gunners. The next game is a Bournemouth versus Brighton. It is a 12th versus 6th. It is going to be a very interesting game, both and exciting game as well. Both these teams really like to go forward. And you can expect goals in this game. Bournemouth, they have won just twice in their last 5 games, but their games have been really good. They lost to Brentford before the international break. It was a 3-2 defeat. It was a really good game, and I think Bournemouth are the type of teams you just like to root for whenever they play. It is always fun to watch them. They are playing against a Brighton side, I mean, who got a big win against Manchester City. It was a 2-1 win for Brighton, and nobody can sit here and say that they did not deserve it. They really literally they played Pep Guardiola's City out of the park. It was an amazing performance from them, and they are 6th in the table. They have won 3 out of their last 5 games. They are really pushing for that Champions League place. That is the aim for them this season, and they really want to get into those Champions League places, and I think it is gonna help them. Again, they are playing against a Bournemouth side. It will be very exciting game, but I think Brighton prefer games like this where both teams come out and play good football. They don't like teams who just sit back and they have to break them down. When it is it is an end-to-end stuff, it really suits Brighton. I think this game is going to be like that, and that is why I think Brighton are gonna get another win. I think it will be a very interesting game, and unfortunately for Bournemouth, I think they are going to lose, and they are going to lose with the same scoreline that they lost last time out. I am going for a 3-2 win for Brighton. The next game is Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace. It is 9th versus 18th. Now, Aston Villa, if you look at it, you are going to say they are on 9th position. Everybody said they were going to drop, and they have dropped. But if you look at the points, there are 3 teams who are on the same number of points as them, 18. And then you have 4 teams who are just a point above them with 19. So one good game, and they could end the weekend at number 3rd in the table. So it is not that much of a problem for Aston Villa at the moment. The problem for them is that they have just won once in their last four games. They are not really able to win the games. They play really good, but they are not able to finish them off. They lost to Liverpool 2-0 before the international break, so that was not a good result for them. The good thing is they are playing against a Crystal Palace side who are in all sorts of trouble. They are 18th in the league. They lost to Fulham to a 2-0, and it was a very bad performance by Crystal Palace as well. They are not playing really good football. Nobody expected them to be here, at the 18th place after 11-12 games, but it is what it is, and their performances have not really been that good, and that is why they are suffering. And I think, unfortunately for them, they are going to suffer another defeat. I think Aston Villa are going to bounce back, and they are going to bounce back with a win, and I think it will be an easy win as well. I'm going for a 3-0 win for Aston Villa. Then it's the biggest game of the weekend in the Premier League. It is Manchester City versus Tottenham Hotspur. It is second versus 10th. Now Manchester City, they are in a sort of spot of bother. If I'm being very honest with you, Pep Guardiola has not lost 4 games in a row in all competitions, and this is the first time that has happened to him. They've lost 2 in a row in the Premier League. They are 6 points behind Liverpool, so it is not all rosy. But the news that Pep Guardiola has almost extended his contract at Manchester City, and that also for about almost like 2 years. That's a big deal, and I think that's going to have a huge impact on his team. They are playing against one of the sides that has sort of become a boogie team for them, especially at their home ground as well. Spurs are really good against Manchester City. Of course, they were not really good last year when if Spurs had somehow drawn the game or won the game, it would have helped us. Of course, Spurs are not going to do that, but this one again, it's a big game for them. Both of them lost last time out. Spurs, how they lost to Ipswich Town, it was a really good thing for me as an Arsenal fan. It was a really good thing, especially with Arsenal not giving getting the win. It was fun to laugh at Spurs, but it's a big game for Spurs. They have been really inconsistent, winning one weekend, then going away and throwing the points next weekend. So you really don't know which Spurs are going to turn up. But as I said, they have sort of been a boogie team for Manchester City. It could, and I think that this is one of the games which Manchester City would have not liked at this moment, especially with them already dropping too many points in the last 2 games. This could have would have been one of those games they would have liked to avoid. But I think it will be a very interesting game. I think Manchester City could easily win this game, but I think Spurs, with all the history and with all of the stuff that is going on, I think it will be a very interesting game. It is going to be a game full of goals, and I think Manchester City are going to drop points again. They are not going to lose this game, but I don't think they are going to win it. I'm going for a 2-all draw between Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspur. The next game is Southampton versus Liverpool. It is 20th versus for first bottom of the table versus top of the table. Southampton, they have lost 4 out of their last 5 games. Just 1 win in 11 games. They lost to Wolves just before the international break as well. So it is they are not really in a good form. They are welcoming Liverpool. They are top of the table. Undefeated in their last 5 games. 4 of them have been wins as well. They won against Aston Villa 2-0. They won against Brighton a week before as well. So they are in a really good form, and they know. And if Manchester City somehow drop points against Tottenham Hotspur a night before, they are going to be really overjoyed about this as well. They are going away to Southampton St Mary's. It is it could turn out to be a very tough game, if I'm being very honest with you, because we are coming back after the international break. I mean, before, if it was a normal weekend and this was the game, I would have said Liverpool are going to win it quite comfortably. There is no problem. But this could be one of those games, and knowing the Premier League, knowing how it works, coming back after the international break, playing on the Sunday, the players are going to be a bit jaded, and then again you are the away side and going at a team who are not really expected to get anything out of that game. They are going to just sit back and they are going to frustrate you. They're going to make sure that you're not able to play the football that you want. It could turn out to be a shock result where Liverpool end up dropping points and they might end up losing points. I will not be shocked of if that is the case, if I'm being very honest with you. But I'm going to play it on the safe side. I think Liverpool have enough quality. They should win this game, and that is what my prediction is. But if the Liverpool don't win and if they end up dropping points, I will not be shocked, if I'm being very honest with you. But I'm going for a Liverpool win. I think it will be a close game. I'm going for a 2-1 win for a Liverpool. Then it is Ipswich Town versus Manchester United. It is the big game where everybody's going to be talking about. The Manchester United have a new manager, Robin Amorim. What he's going to do, that is going to be very, very interesting to see. And the funny thing is that he has a very, very tough game to start his managerial career. People are going to look at this Ipswich game and they're going to say it is it is not that much of a big problem. But Manchester United are not playing that goal. They were really good when Nistelrooy came in for a couple of games. But let's be honest, these are the same players who were not performing under Ten Hag. And the same thing that I said about Liverpool, that they are going to go away to a side that is really not expected to get a result out of it. And Ipswich, they won against Spurs and they were brilliant against Spurs in that game. They are going to be at home. They love playing attacking football. It is going to be very interesting game. And Ipswich, they know they would love to be the party poppers for Manchester United and their new manager. I think we're going to expect goals from this game. I'm just waiting to see what he does. United fans are really, really excited about his appointment, and you should be. Like, it's a great manager. What he has done at Sporting is really commendable. The way he has come up and what his philosophy and what he's thinking. I mean, if a guy really has put up his mind, he's stopped his playing career. He wants to be a manager at 26, 27. You know how his mind works. It will be very interesting. I think it will be a great manager for Manchester United. But this first game, I think it's going to be very tough. I don't see Manchester United winning this game. Unfortunately for them, I think Ipswich are going to get something out of this, but we are going to see goals in this game. I'm going for a 2-all draw between Ipswich Town and Manchester United. And we finish off a match day 12 in the Premier League with Newcastle versus West Ham United. It is 8th versus 14th. Two teams who are, if I'm being very honest with you, been quite inconsistent. Newcastle have still been able to get the wins, whereas West Ham United have not been able to get the wins. And unfortunately, I think it is one of those games where it could turn out to be a very, very good game. Both these teams have amazing players, and they have the managers who like to play attacking football. I am expecting a lot of goals. I think we are gonna get a good game of football, but we are not gonna get a result for either of these teams. And it is gonna hurt both of them. Newcastle, they really want to get back into those European places, somehow play in the Europe. They missed out last year as well. Sorry, this year as well. But next year they really want to get into the Europe. But at the moment, it's not looking like it's gonna happen. And West Ham, I mean, the amount of money they spend, you really expected them to be in the top 10, but it is not working. They drew against Everton before the international break as well, and that has been the problem for West Ham, that they are not being able to finish off the games where they are playing good. And in most of the games they are playing bad. I'm not going to be sit here and say anything like that. They are playing bad games, but then when they play good, they are not able to finish them off, and that is why they are hurting at the moment. I think it will be a very close game, and I think we are going to see goals, and but I don't see a winner out of it. I'm saying, going with the same result that I went with for Ipswich and United, I'm going for a 2-all draw between Newcastle United and West Ham United. And with that, my predictions for match day 12 in the Premier League are finished. As I said before the start, there are very some exciting fixtures. You have that big game against between Manchester City and Spurs, but then you have games like United and Ipswich, then you have Newcastle and West Ham, Brighton and Bournemouth. Arsenal have to somehow win. Liverpool going away to St. Mary's. Really, really exciting games in the weekend. We're going to see get a lot of good results. These were my predictions. Let me know what you guys think of that in the comment section below. Make your predictions. Play with me. We'll see whose predictions are much better, mine or yours, at the end of the weekend, and we'll see who made the better predictions. That's it from me in this video. Like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell and please subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of this year. That is our goal. So please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.